Okay. I've had so many people text me in the past. Do you know that you're live right now? Like, you're just staring at the screen. I'm like, well, the topic today is building unshakable confidence. So how do you completely mess up while you're live? And then just bounce back and get right into it. Hey, everyone. My name is Patrick Kerwin. Good to see you. We got an incredible episode here for you today. So whether you're watching live on today, by the way, we finally broke through on LinkedIn. These are finally posting on LinkedIn. So if you are watching on LinkedIn, hello. If you're listening to our podcast, however you're listening to this right now, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and now officially LinkedIn. Welcome to today. Today's all about building unshakable confidence and how can you find that strength, that power within yourself, no matter what you have, whatever challenges you have in front of you, whether it's something you're trying to do right now, work on a personal goal, whether it's a health goal, business goal, relationship goal, whatever you got going, there's going to be some resistance. There's going to be some challenge in your way. And today is all about how to tackle and overcome those things by building yourself up from the inside out. So let's get into this. I want to give you guys a quick overview of what we're talking about. But first, I want to get into this on a deeply personal level. So I know personally from myself that there are some things I've tried to do in my life. Now, whether you want to call it procrastination, today we're just going to be calling it resistance. There's one part of us that's pushing us forward, another part of us that's pushing us, pulling us back. And it's that struggle between the two that causes us a lot of personal heartache, emotional heartache, mental strain, even spiritual stress, as we don't and we aren't seeing ourselves becoming this person that we're ultimately going to be proud of. There's moments we lay our head on our pillow at night and we think to ourselves, I was just busy today, but did I get anything done? I don't know if I moved the needle forward. I don't know if I really lived it today. And then there's other days where we put our head on our pillow at night and we think, man, I really crushed it. What if we could have more of those days? Today is about helping you create more of those kinds of days. In order to have that, we have to talk about resistance itself. We have to talk about procrastination. We have to talk about some of these challenges and the blocks in front of us and how to overcome those blocks. Let's look at it from three different perspectives, okay? Perspective number one, and what I hope you guys do as we're watching this, I want you to think of yourself. And I hope that you just identify where your resistance usually is. And then at the end, we'll talk about some things you can do to turn it around. So the very first type of resistance is mental resistance. This is where we have some challenges in our mindset. Okay? We got some stinking thinking. We got some stuff going on. Here's a couple of ideas to how to know if mental resistance is it's kind of your big thing, okay? When you imagine something you need to do and you tell yourself, or you imagine, you picture it as too hard, too big, too much, you associate it with certain mental labels like that's good, that's bad. You can view something as bland and boring, or you can view it as extremely exciting. What a great challenge in front of us. In fact, last week we talked about how one of the core motivators is seeing something as a challenge, and that could be the thing that gets you up, gets you going. Now, more than just that, I want to give you guys kind of a little formula here. So here's the simple formula. Follow me here. Picture what you're picturing of this thing that you want to see yourself do that you're not doing. Ready? If the head doesn't believe it, and if the heart doesn't feel it, the hands aren't going to do it. Let me say one more time. If the head doesn't believe it and the heart doesn't feel it, the hands, my friends, they're just not going to do it. So if you're not seeing yourself do it, let's trace that back and what might be going on here and what might be going on here. And at the end, we'll kind of come back with some tips and things you can do. So that's that first part, is that mental resistance, that way that you're thinking about it. So in just this first blush, maybe what you need to do is just change how you're thinking about it. Maybe that's the first thing for you to do. Okay, we talk about mental resistance. Let's talk about part of the big one for a lot of people is emotional resistance, okay? This is where you're thinking to yourself, I'm avoiding taking action, which is kind of the classic definition of procrastination. There's an avoidance of doing the thing. Now, we take action because we're excited, and we also hold back because, and maybe this is you, a fear of embarrassment. What if I fail, if it doesn't work out? Maybe it's a challenge of starting something, or maybe what you're holding back on, resisting around, is actually finishing it. Because once it's finished, then it's out there and it's going to be critiqued. People are going to see it. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Maybe that's you. Maybe it's not you. But when the heart doesn't feel it, we shut down. Some part of our greatness just kind of shrinks inside of us. And if that's the kind of the routine, the ritual that you've been going on, I do want to pause on this particular note. For me, and I hope you're feeling me on this one, the challenge isn't procrastination. The challenge isn't resistance. The real struggle, the real danger is that what we practice, we become. So if we practice procrastination, we become a procrastinator. If we practice holding back, if we practice dodging, denying, avoiding, we become the kind of person that does those things more habitually, more automatically. And I don't want to see that happen to you. I don't want to see that to happen to me. I wouldn't want to see that happen to anyone that I know. That they're slowly but surely becoming someone that they're not proud of through the actions they do or the inactions that they see themselves do. But the good news is there's a way to completely turn that around. But let's do one more, okay? On these three, let's go through the third way or style that a lot of us tend to procrastinate, not just mental resistance or emotional resistance. There's one more that, and I just want to thank my wife Katie for bringing this one out. It's just environmental challenges. Listen, I mean, I'm a parent. I got two littles running around the house. They demand my attention. Even if there's something I want to be doing, they're like, nope. You got to do this thing. They're running, they're screaming, do all this stuff. And it's not just, kids bad. It's like parents care. We love our kids. There's certain environmental situations that are just not prone to productivity. They're not prone to us being able to take action on something. So even if we have the right mindset, like I really want to get this thing done and get the right heart set, like, yeah, let's get out there, let's do it, I'm ready, green light emotions, there could be an environmental challenge that's making it very challenging. So part of our resistance or part of our procrastination isn't something just in here. We have to acknowledge there's some things going on in our environment. Now, whether you see this in an individual level or a business team level, sometimes the greatest things you can do to power yourself and build that confidence in yourself so you can do the things that you ultimately want to do is to make some sort of massive change in your environment, whether that's going to bed earlier. You with me? Yeah. You up late people. Yeah, talks to self. We got to get to bed earlier so we have the energy and the sleep ready to go do those things. So when you put all this together, going back to that simple formula, if the head believes it and the heart feels it, the hands, in faith, they will do it. You're capable of it. The thing about confidence is that when you don't see yourself, it's been 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months of not seeing yourself take action on the things that you've committed in yourself. When you've seen yourself time and time again laying your head on your pillow at night and just not have that feeling that, man, I really lived it today. You get too many of those in a row and it starts to whittle down on your confidence. It starts to suck out your juice, right? So today is really about how to gain that back, how to take back that kind of level of confidence in yourself. And the key, and I hope you hear me on this one, I'm going to lean in on this one, the key is to take action. You just got to do it. You got to find a way, engineer a way, tune the environment, tune your thinking, tune what's going on in here so that you see yourself move and act because it's action that builds confidence. When you see where there's a space where you could take action, you don't, drains confidence. When you see an area where you know you could be taking action and you do, builds confidence. So everything today is about that. Let me give you just a few tips. Really, I want to send you off in your week as you leave Sunday and move into Monday. I want to really just give you guys some things that you can do practically to make some changes so that you are set up for success. Number one, we have to begin with this idea that focus is power. When we are distracted, when we have diluted focus, we get diluted results. So the first question is, what can you do to gain back focus in your life? If that thing you were thinking of is get a productivity planner or use sticky notes or mark your mirror, whatever you're thinking you could be doing that you're not, do that thing that's going to help you gain back your focus. Well, Patrick, I hear that if I schedule stuff on my calendar, it helps. Are you scheduling stuff on your calendar? Well, no. do that thing and see the change that happens in your personal focus, whether that's minimizing distractions or enhancing your focus, whatever you can do. That's the first one. Focus is power. Number 2, we make our habits and our habits make us. And I don't want to see you go down a path that has you slowly but surely becoming this person that you're not proud of. In order to turn that around, we have to start doing the things and getting ourselves to do the things that bring us confidence and joy and greatness. I'll give you a keen example. I'm at the gym mid-morning, and I'm passing by the treadmills. Now, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm not really a fan of running. I just feel like I'm just going nowhere fast. So I have some resistance around the treadmills, right? I also have some resistance around leg day. But that's a completely different topic. We'll talk about that at a different time. But I was thinking about you guys today, and I was thinking about procrastination and resistance and overcoming, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I don't feel like jumping on this treadmill right now. In fact, I really don't want to, but I know it's good for me, and it's going to help me build up my cardio, so I'm just going to do it. Here's the thing. The moment I hit start on that treadmill and started running, I started feeling good about myself. I just overcame something that I just was telling myself. I stopped my mind in my tracks. My mind was going into some negative places. My heart wasn't feeling it. I just did it anyway. And as I was on there and I was sweating and I was going, I was like, wow, even though I'm not at the level that I thought I was at before, because, it's been like months since I've been on a treadmill, I'm like, I'm just happy about myself that I'm doing it. That's what I want for you guys. Just be happy in yourself that you did the thing that you didn't think you could do. That's how you build personal confidence, day by day, minute by minute, action by action. So as we move forward to these things, we have to learn how to get those new habits going that ultimately build ourselves as confident. And so really just kind of take action. You just got to get going. And here's some things you can do to help yourself take action. I'll leave you guys with these thoughts. A couple of tips I've gotten from the literature. I was doing a dunk the past couple of days on procrastination and overcoming resistance and stuff like that. Here's a couple things I found and have practiced that have really worked for me. One is in terms of the mindset. How do you conquer what's going on here? If you're picturing it in a way that is challenging, like the elephant, you're making it so big. Oh my God, I don't want to tackle that project at work. I don't want to do this thing in my house. I don't want to have this hard conversation. You're making it giant in your mind. Shrink it. Just shrink it a little bit. Make it a little smaller. I've got to lose 50 pounds. Well, let's not talk about 50. Let's talk about 5. Let's just shrink it up. Make it something you can actually chew on and start to move on. I want to start doing 50 push-ups. Let's not talk about 50. Let's talk about 5 push-ups. And after you do 5, let's talk about another 5, another 5. In other words, you just got to make it small. Shrink it up. That's the first thing. 2, and I've heard this one from Mel Robbins, a great one. She talks about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. When you're in bed and you don't want to get up, the great way to start building your confidence and see yourself take action is even if you don't feel like it, just do a countdown. At launch, I'm going to launch out of this bed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just put your feet on the ground. That's another thing. You do a little mental mind hack, whatever you want to call it. And lastly, you can do, if you're feeling a lot of emotional resistance, like the resistance, you're like, Patrick, I can feel it. It's here. I don't know what it is, but there's some stuff going on here. My invitation to you is just take a piece of paper. That's kind of my always advice. It's just like inner coach is, hey, let's get a piece of paper out. And I want you to just write out, voice out some things you're afraid of, concerned of. Give resistance a voice. Honor it enough to write out what it's saying to you and allow that step to move on to the next step and next step. Before you know it, you've resolved a lot of the tension that's going on inside yourself. So kind of a big topic. Like, how do you tackle the entire topic of procrastination? You can't in one go, but I hope that what you heard today, I'm going to circle back on it, if the mind will believe it, and if the heart will feel it, the hands will do it. And I believe that you guys, and I know that you guys can do this, and it's going to ultimately build your confidence slowly but surely every day until you're the person that you're proud of. So thanks for tuning in for another episode of The Pursuit. I hope today finds you well. Until we meet again, may the fire within lead the happiest heights and the road you travel be lined with lights. We'll see you next time.